Financial crisis in Florida for 13% of people below the poverty line and 33% who are Alice. Today, I read an article on Yahoo Finance put out by MoneyWise and written by Sarah Lewis titled 46% of Florida households struggle financially, report says, and may be just one emergency away from poverty. The author of this article referenced United for Alice as reporting that 46% of Florida households, or over 4 million people, struggled to pay for basic necessities in 2022. ALICE stands for Asset Limited Income Constrained Employed. Here are my thoughts. This information is from 2022. Imagine how much worse it could be in 2024. Inflation has been impacting families like a wildfire ravages a dry forest. In my mind, what is sad is the extreme gap between the haves and the have-nots in Florida. There are billionaires buying mansions next door to one another just to tear them down to build a bigger mansion. There is a lot of extreme wealth in Florida. If you don't believe me, try to attend the Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show sometime. I've been there before. It will blow your mind. You won't believe the caliber of the yachts that are showcased at this event. While there are the super wealthy who can buy mega mansions and gleaming new yachts, there are others who don't know how they are going to pay for their rent or car payment. I really don't see this divide getting better anytime soon. We are living in the new Gilded Age. Getting back to the article, the author said 13% of households across the state of Florida earn below the federal poverty level and 33% are considered asset-limited, income-constrained employed. These are people above the federal poverty line, but they still earn less than what it takes to afford the basics in the area where they live, such as rent, food, transportation, healthcare, childcare, technology, taxes, and 10% of a budget for savings or emergencies. In my opinion, this is truly tragic. This is America, one of the greatest countries on the planet, and yet we have a large number of people who are in this terrible financial situation. Keep in mind, these 33% of people in Florida are employed. I have to wonder how many of them are working multiple jobs just to try to keep their head above water. This has to be disheartening to these individuals. Some may even be doing hard manual labor to maintain the pristine lawns at mega mansions, or they may be working hard to keep the hull of someone's yacht clean. I am sure there are working class people in Florida who are having a difficult time due to rent getting more expensive. It is unbelievable how much it has gone up in recent years. For those fortunate enough to own a home, that is getting more expensive to live in because of property taxes going up and due to the cost of insurance. Some people in Florida are having a hard time even finding an insurance carrier for their property. Getting back to the article, the author shared some information that I hadn't heard before. Apparently, Florida has one of the highest grocery costs in the nation. This is according to an analysis from Help Advisor. This is bad news for large families. Grocery costs are already a problem for countless Americans because of greedflation and shrinkflation. This is why some people in America are resorting to buy now, pay later loans to cover the cost of their groceries. I read some of the comments beneath this article. I'll share some of them with you. One commenter said, "Flee Florida while you still can. The real estate market is collapsing. No insurance and intense flooding and unbearable humidity." The next commenter said, "Housing crisis. Stop funds and large investment groups and greedy corporations, investors, and flippers from buying single-family homes. People cannot compete with funds." The last comment that I'll share with you came from someone who said, "We are suffering because of the influx of people raising all the prices because they can afford 20% or more over list price and are willing to pay it. We have a governor that has no idea what he's doing and a police department that can't control the violence or drivers. Florida isn't so nice anymore." Well, my friends, these commenters have some strong opinions. I'm curious, what do you think? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. While some super wealthy people may be of the opinion that those at the bottom will be okay, well, at times things don't always go so well. I read a tragic story today on yahoo.com put out by KGET Bakersfield and written by Robert Price, titled Fatal Knife Fight Between Clerk and Shoplifter Raises Questions About Poverty, Hunger, and Frustration with Petty Crime. According to the author, a 36-year-old man lost his warehouse job. He broke up with the mother of his 5 children, and he was living on the street. His aunt said he was often hungry. He visited an East Bakersfield Dollar Tree and put store items in a plastic bucket and then sprinted out the back door. A 22-year-old cashier chased after him, and the two got into a fight. The thief pulled out a knife. Apparently, he was killed by his own knife in the fight. The store clerk violated the company policy relating to dealing with shoplifters. He ended up being charged with first-degree murder and may face life in prison. Everything about this story is tragic in my opinion. While the thief broke the law, which was wrong, he shouldn't have lost his life over it. This is such a tragic loss. It is equally sad that a young 22-year-old cashier may now end up in prison for the rest of his life. He may never have the opportunity to live his life to the fullest. I'm sure neither of these men thought things would turn out this way when they woke up in the morning. One man is dead, and the other man's life may basically be over if he ends up in prison for the rest of his life. When people get desperate, bad things sometimes happen. We already have a lot of desperation here in America during a time when our economy is supposedly booming. Imagine what kind of desperation we might all be hearing about if our economy takes a turn for the worse and unemployment spikes, or if we see the stock market correct or crash. Many police departments are already stretched thin. When I was burglarized, it took the detective several days before he could work on my case because he was still dealing with the aftermath of a shooting at the local Walmart. He worked on my case for a while, but eventually he was forced off the case. He told me the department needed him to focus on violent crime, which was more of a priority. We are all living in a complex world. Please do what you can to help desperate people who are struggling. Please also be safe out there. Do what you can to avoid putting yourself in situations where you could potentially get injured or killed. Please keep in mind that everything in this video is for entertainment purposes only, and nothing in this video is financial advice or advice of any kind. If you need advice, seek advice from a qualified professional in good standing who puts your interests first and foremost. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to the channel. Please also consider sharing this video with your friends. I want to extend a special thanks to everyone who has subscribed to the channel. I want to also thank all of my channel members. If you would like to become a channel member, there is a link in the description beneath this video. You can read more about the different membership levels. Please also check out some of the great books that I suggest you consider reading in the description below. I've included Amazon affiliate links to these books. As an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. Stay healthy and wealthy. I'll see everyone in the next video.